Let's talk about this multimodal argument and explanatory essay. So the most important thing to understand about this essay is that it's two parts, okay? So part one is going to be your multimodal argument, okay? And so that could be something like a video, that could be something like a podcast, a blog, a painting, a social media post, whatever you want, okay? And then you're going to write an essay about it, explaining how you made whatever it is that you made, okay? And so this is kind of a little bit weird of an assignment, and I understand it can be a little hard to understand. So I did make a sample for you, a sample project and essay, which I'm going to go over in just a second. So it's going to be, the essay needs to be 3 pages long minimum, and I do grade it on completion. So you really want to make sure that you get to full 3 pages. If it is shorter than that, that is a good sign that it is going to lose kind of a lot of points because 3 pages is so short that percentage wise, let's say you turn in a 2 page paper, 2/3, if you think about what that percentage would be, it's very low. So please make sure that you get to at least 3 pages. There is actually no length requirement for the multimodal argument part. So you could make a hour-long video, which I've had students do, or you can make a 1-minute video and it's not going to impact your grade at all as long as you have enough to write about for your essay. I'm only going to grade the essay. And so I'm not an expert on videos, right? As you could probably tell right now. And so it doesn't matter if your project, your multimodal argument is like perfect, amazing, it can be a really rough draft, okay? And so I want to show you the example. So this is what I made to just give you a sense of like what my expectations are for this project. So I actually made this presentation to present at Comic-Con a few years ago, and I'd never done a poster presentation before. And so I had to look up what other people had done because, now I'm a professor. A lot of people do these when they're grad students, and I never did. I always did panel presentations. So this was my first one. So I was looking up, how do other people make poster presentations? I don't know. I've never done one before. And this is what I was able to find is this kind of format. It's a little bit trendy. People are doing it right now. A lot of posters look all like this, like teeny tiny text. And I wanted something that was a little more eye-catching. I didn't have charts or graphs or anything yet because it's really early stages of this project. And so I was like, I have text only. So how can I make this look a little bit more interesting? And this is what I came up with. And I wrote an essay about it. So you can see the choices that I made in creating this poster. And hopefully this will give you a little bit of a sense of what you should do for your essay. The essay is the only part I'm going to grade, okay? It's worth 75 points. And so make sure that this is where you're really pouring in your effort, and I'm going to be grading it, like I said, on completion. If you're at all curious how I'm going to grade the essay, you should look at our rubric, and it's going to break it down to you very simply. And so this will tell you like which terms to use and things like that. But you can also just look at my essay, and if you model your essay off mine, it's going to probably be what it needs to do what it needs to do. So I have each of the sections of the essay represent one of the different parts of the rubric. There's only 4 parts of the rubric. It's a very, very simple grading process. I can usually grade all of these in a day, unlike, other projects take a long time to grade. This one is usually really quick, and I'm really going to be looking for these terms, okay? And so I made them bold for you so that you can find them easily and how I use them in my essay. You don't have to make them bold, but you can if you want, just to make sure that I can find them easily, but also no worries if not. And you can make sections if you want. I put mine in MLA format just because I'm so used to it, but it's okay if it's not in MLA format. And by the way, it's okay if you don't have any citations. You don't need an introduction and you don't need a conclusion. You only need to write the parts of the essay that are required on the rubric, because I'm going to be grading it, like I said, on completion. And so you can always have those things if you want, but you don't have to. You need to talk about the medium and genre of whatever you've made. Who is your intended audience? Who are you hoping will read this, watch this, listen to this, whatever? What is the purpose for making it? Do you hope more people will go see this movie that you're reviewing? Do you hope more people will try this recipe that you've, made a video about or whatever? And then conventions is going to be kind of the bulk of the grade, conventions and rhetorical analysis. And I'm sorry, because this is our final rhetorical analysis, but we are doing another one. So conventions, this is where you need to talk about how other people have made texts that are in the same genre and medium as you, and how you're going to be kind of like using those same conventions. And so conventions are like expectations, rules, norms. There's a lot of different words for them, but basically it's like What do I expect when I look at an academic poster? What do I expect when I watch a video that's reviewing a album that just came out? Or like if I'm looking at a social media post that's telling me about why about like political news or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We have certain expectations of different genres and mediums. You know, like I don't want a social media post to be super long. I don't want a video to you know, be blurry. There's certain things that we are looking for. And so the more specific you can be, the better. And you're going to want to make sure that you're referring to a specific sample text, model text when you're talking about those. It'll really help you write it. And we're going to work on that next week. Okay. And then the next thing that I want you to do, final thing in the paper, is write a rhetorical analysis. And here, what you're going to be doing is analyzing yourself, meta-analysis. This is really difficult, but look at your own text. And so here you can see how I talk about my poster and how it uses logos and kairos and pathos and all this other stuff, right? And then, like I said, at the very end, you just end. You don't have to write a conclusion, no citations, whatever. Just cover the basics. And I think that's pretty much it. There's a little bit more I want to say, but I'm worried I am out of time. I guess the final thing I'll say is that if you are hesitating, you're like, there's only 3 weeks left of class. I don't have that much time to make something, but you have a cool idea. Just keep in mind, you can turn in a partial project, you can turn in a script for a video that you would make. There's people I've had who wanted to make like video games, and it's like, no way can you make a video game in 3 weeks, but they turned in like a proposal for a video game, and then they wrote an essay about the video game as if they had created it, right? And so there's different options. I'll share some more resources so you get a little bit of a sense of what that would look like. But keep in mind, you don't have to turn in a completed, finished, polished multimodal argument. It can be something that's rough. It can be a partial draft, etc. Okay, that is finally it. Please let me know if you have any questions and good luck with your writing.